You joined us last night. We'll give you a comprehensive review. For the sake of those who didn't see it, we'll give you a review once again of what happened over the weekend in the Nigerian Professional Football League Week 13. We will also talk Channels Kids Cup, of course. That's our project, and everything is going well. Everything is looking good because the schools have started to arrive. They are already in town. Most of the schools are already in town, and we're expecting the others to come in today. All right. So we will also take you to Ondo State. Governor Olusegun Mimiko is putting something together. Still efforts at grassroots football development in Nigeria, and I'm sure that with all these efforts put together, Nigeria can only look in one direction in terms of football development, success. We can only look one way, and that is upwards. So we'll talk about all of that on the program this Tuesday. Yemi, let's start differently. Let's start with something on the foreign scene. Let's go to Spain. Let's start from Spain today, and then we'll come back home towards the end of the show. The biggest stories from Spain is this man.
Yeah.
Last night, Real Madrid confirmed that it's going, and every finger is pointing in one direction, that is coming back to Stamford Bridge.
Sure.
But then a new twist, because we are told that the man that Man City wants, Pellegrini, could be staying in Spain with Barcelona,
which leaves the door open.
Which leaves the door open for Mourinho to either come to London, where Chelsea are waiting, or move to Manchester, where City are also looking for a manager.
Well, one thing Jose Mourinho is very good at is he keeps you guessing. Even before all of this started, there was a time it was rumored to have
PSG
bought a house in London. So even before all of this started coming to the fore, we knew something was up. So but he's also good at misdirection. So that's why you said the fingers are pointing in one direction. At the end of the day, I will not be surprised if he just ends up at Man City. He's been very good at that. But of course, you know, he just, I think he lost the respect of his players at Real Madrid. And you know, the center could not hold anymore, and everything just. He actually signed an extension at the beginning of the season. He signed an extension. He was going to stay there for a couple of years, but I don't want to say the players revolted against him, but something happened. He lost the dressing room. Even the officials that seemed to hold him in high esteem, some of them started saying one or two things that were not complimentary. Before his departure, he was not allowed to hold press conferences because the club knew it was going to embarrass them. It was going to start revealing.
He could say a few things and then throw everything overboard.
At some point, he was even cut off while still speaking. It was that bad. But it doesn't take away anything from the man. He is a good manager. But it comes with a lot of baggage. You have to accept that. If you're going to employ Jose Mourinho,
employing with all that is coming with.
Yeah, with the baggage.
All right, so that's the story. Jose Mourinho is no longer going to be in charge of Real Madrid. He has 2 more games, and even with the red card he got against Atletico Madrid, will he be able to sit on the bench for the last 2 games? Well, I don't know about that, but at the end of this season, the contract of Jose Mourinho with Real Madrid has come to an end, and on mutual consent, the 2 teams, the 2 parties have agreed not to continue. So Mourinho tired of Madrid, Madrid tired of Mourinho, everybody walks away. No compensation, no payoff, no buyout. Everything is just over between Mourinho and Real Madrid. Okay, I mean, let's come home now. We've started with the story of Mourinho. Let's come home and take a look at what we are putting together. Channels National Kids Cup Season 5. And this is the first time that we are having states from outside of Lagos. Mind my word, states. The other time we had 1 state from outside of Lagos. Now we have as many as 12. Some of them have arrived in Lagos, and today the draws, accreditation, everything will be done. Tomorrow it kicks off. Channels National Kids Cup. And once again, we must tell you that we've enjoyed tremendous support from Indomie Noodles and a whole lot of other partners who have ensured that this competition gets bigger and bigger.
Yes, and that's seat number 7, shirt ball, he said. Lebiori Yomi squaring the ball. Right, Charles Amanton. Oh, look at that. He takes a shot. He got him out of the
The clock is gradually ticking on this year's competition from Wednesday, May the 22nd. All attention will be on the 2013 Channels National Kids Cup.
Than primary school. So this is a very, very beautiful innovation for football. I thank Channels for it.
But here, representatives of participating schools, various partners and the media joined the Channels family to get first-hand information of what is in store for the national finals of the annual Kids Cup. The chairman and CEO of Channels TV and host of the tournament, Mr. John Momo, had a significant message for the participating schools.
The principle is competing against yourself. It's about self-improvement. It's about how to improve yourself. It's about being better than when you were the day before. So every day you have to improve on yourself. And this helps also not only in the development of sports, of personal sports development, but also in your academic development. Because you have to be well-grounded. You have to be well-grounded in other areas apart from academics.
For the partner, the Lagos State Football Association, the message was simple.
At Lagos State Football Association, we have something called a Pro Football Future Stars. And it's one of our most cherished programs. And that is the reason why we saw the Channels Kids Cup as a natural partner to us.
Apart from going national, there was something new to give this year's competition a facelift. The unveiling of the tournament jerseys that will ensure all teams are properly kitted.
Channels Kids Cup jersey.
The Channels logo here on the right hand side, on the left hand side, and what it connotes is love.
16 primary schools from 12 states have all trained hard for the competition, and the question of who will be the 2013 champions will only be answered on May the 27th when the final is played.
All right, so that's it around the Channels National Kids Cup. Once again, we must say a very big thank you to Dufil Prima Limited, makers of Indomie noodles. Delta State Government, of course, they are also partners. Eco Football, that's the Lagos State Football Association, are also heavily involved. We must appreciate them as well. Oak Group, makers of Lacena Water, are also part of the show. And then Bobo Drinks, makers of Bobo Drinks and Beverages Limited, are also part of what Channels is putting together. So the kids have a lot to look forward to while they produce the thrills and the frills, moments to celebrate, tears of joy and sadness. On the pitch, they will also have a lot to eat and drink while Channels National Kids Cup is going on. Okay, so yeah, let's move on the show. This time, let's step up. This is not good news for us. The next story is not good news for us. It has to do with, and I think you had an inkling to this when you were talking about it yesterday. Victor Moses, Kalu Uche are not going to be part of the Mexico friendly. That's not a problem for me. They are also not going to be part of the busy schedule for the Eagles in June. That's the 2 World Cup qualifiers, Namibia, Kenya, and they will not be part of the FIFA Confederations Cup. This is a massive blow, particularly Victor Moses.
Very huge. There are 1 or 2 players in that squad, and Moses happens to be one of them. You just look, this guy doesn't...
It brings a whole lot to the party.
Doesn't have a replacement. When you're playing against top teams, you will be hoping that Victor Moses is in his right element because he can win you games. We saw what he did at the Nations Cup. And, while I was talking about it yesterday, I actually didn't know, that anything had happened to Moses. And like I said before we came on, I was telling you in our chat that, look, this is the kind of period we bungle things. The year we didn't qualify for the World Cup, it was an away game that some players did not come. The ones that come.
End of season.
End of season. This kind of period put up a lethargic performance, and from that point we started chasing it. And if we are not careful, I hope it doesn't happen. I pray it doesn't happen. 2 crucial away games. Even at the very height of our power, we struggle with away games. So now, it will be down to how Keshi is going to be able to psych these guys, make them be able to raise the level of their game, and find capable replacement, and the ones that are going to play ensure that we get the maximum point. No margin for error, no excuses will be tolerated at all. And
we're still trying to grapple with the fact that we don't have an Emenike. We're still talking about how we will make the team to play differently.
Change tactics
without an Emenike.
Or putting like for like.
Yes.
But
add to not having an Emenike is not having a Moses, who brings a lot of creativity, brings a lot of pace, brings a lot of trickery, brings a lot of skills.
I think Esha has to be resigned to changing his tactics at this point, because Moses happens to be a key member. In fact, he makes that formation work, and because he switches flanks, uses both feet and all that. I don't think there's any player in that. Well, then again, unless you're bringing back Osazo, then we get, and he's not in the squad anyway. That's the only person that comes close, that has that almost the same measure of ability. A player that can win you games, a player that can take the game upon himself and do some things. Now, if Moses is not going to be there, and you don't have somebody who can bully his way through,
like Emenike,
then of course,
and a replacement like Kaluche is not there as well. What would you advise Keshi? What would you advise Keshi to do? What would you advise him to do? Get new replacement, call up anybody who you have in mind, if anybody is called up. For me, in the absence of a Victor Moses, Anodo Amadi will have to step up, because he's quick, he can play on the left, on the right, and he has a lot of trickery as well. Maybe not exactly like Moses, but that's the person that comes close in my mind.
Yeah.
So what can we do? Get replacement. Who can come in?
I wouldn't bring anybody in apart from the guys that went to the Nations Cup, but he has to change the tactics. The reason I'm saying this is that, look, he's worked with those boys. So if there's anybody that can quickly make a transition, it will be those guys who's been used to him, who's been used to his team talk, who's been used to. So I, for instance, will say let Brown Day start an attack, but definitely it's not going to be that same formation. The guy is good with positioning. He's not a power playing forward. Positions himself, probably will work well in a twin striking position. You have to bring up another striker who they can complement themselves. I mean, Brownie Day is a typical guy. Neat 1-2s, step over passes, and he'll get you goals. Not the type that could just rough handle defenders and hit the ball. That's not his own ability. So you've got to do that. We don't have wingers. I don't know. It's really maybe just for me, a result is key. Avoid getting caught with the soccer punch. So don't open yourself. I'm not saying go there and pack the bus. I mean, we can't even we are better than some of these teams. So what you need to do is to ensure that you don't get caught with the soccer punch and utilize whatever you have, which for me now looks like it's going to be Brownie Day. Know how to play to his true strengths.
Okay. It's getting more complicated, looking more difficult, but Nigeria respond in situations like this. This is when you really see the best of Nigeria. Let's hope that that's what we see when we play those World Cup qualifiers. For me, the key priority, the key issue are the World Cup qualifying games. The friendly games, the Confederations Cup are just bonuses. The World Cup qualifiers are the main issue. And I hope we just get those two results, however, and then whatever comes in could be a bonus for us. Let's come closer home yet again, this time talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League. Before we give you an update on what happened over the weekend that we did last night. We couldn't do that yesterday morning because we were pressed for time, but we'll do it this morning. Before we do it, let's just quickly highlight what you have on your screen. And this is an issue that is very, very crucial, because this morning I put a call across to Sharks of Port Harcourt, and the stories I was getting from Sharks officials, where they were when they were speaking to me, is worrying, really worrying. It's not raising false alarm. This is not raising false alarm or trying to help Sharks to get a neutral ground. No, these are real crucial issues. When we spoke to Sharks this morning, they were somewhere on the outskirts of Bauchi in no man's land. They didn't even know where they were, and there was nobody around them. And they said they were waiting for some officials of El Kanemi to come and bring them into Maiduguri. It's not very comforting, because if I have a brother who is playing football for Sharks of Port Harcourt and he was telling me what they were saying this morning, I will raise an alarm, and that's what we are doing.
I'll simply tell him to come home.
Please. And in spite of the 24-hour curfew imposed on parts of Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, it appears that the NPL Week 14 clash between El Kanemi and Sharks will still take place in Maiduguri, raising, of course, concerns about the security and the safety of the lives of the players of the two teams, not just Sharks, of the two teams, their coaches, and the match officials. Because curfew 24 hours in some parts of Maiduguri, we're told of the clampdown, of the intensity of the bombardment on the insurgents in that part of the country, and yet a game is still being played, movement is still... I don't understand.
I think the organizers of the league, and not just even before the LMC came on, but we've always liked living in a fool's paradise. Football should not go on if security is not guaranteed. Pure and simple. That's just what it is. Now, I mean, we know the situation in Borno. I mean,
how do you judge that security is not guaranteed? The way you judge is the 24-hour curfew.
Yes.
Simple.
Restriction of movement.
24-hour curfew is a big sign that security is not guaranteed. What curfew is saying is that everybody stay where you are, no movement.
Let's be able to know the intruders.
Let's identify a few things before we can open up again and then begin to move around freely. And I don't understand, why can't we get maybe a Kanemi to move to a nearby state where there's safety at least, to a good measure, and allow them to play their game? Why move people from... I don't understand. It's worrying.
I think because we've bungled a lot of things. We don't have the luxury of being elastic. You understand? If we had planned well, some of these things will come up. But if we have planned well, we'll be able to be elastic. We'll be able to adjust. These things are part
of fallback options.
Yeah, they're part of life. We know in the English Premier League they were telling us if Arsenal beat their opponents by a certain margin and Chelsea, there was going to be a playoff. They were ready for it. These things happen even when you don't plan them. And because we are not elastic, because we have bungled a lot of things, you don't have time. So we are desperate for games to be played even at the risk of lives, which is not good. And like I've said, football is not strong enough to stop evil people from perpetrating whatever they want to. And this just gives them, I mean, they're like a sitting duck. Just gives them a good opportunity to do whatever they want to do. But I just hope that some of the things that happened in Egypt that we saw
will not happen
here.
Okay, let's just hope for the best. And tomorrow we'll talk more about the Nigerian Professional Football League, week 14 games, midweek matches to be played tomorrow. But right now, our concern is the safety of the lives of all those involved in Maiduguri. Let's quickly give you our review now, starting with the results of week 13 matches, as you can see on your screen. We talked about this yesterday. Nembe 2-1 over Wiki, Warri Wolves 2-1 over Pillars, Kaduna 1-0 over Lobi, Kwara 1-1 with Dolphins, Gombe 1-0 over El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri, Sharks 1-0 over Sunshine, Atlant 1-0 over ABS, Nasarawa and Akwa United goalless, Enyimba 2-0 over Bayelsa. The top four is up next, and let's see what it looks like at the top of the log. The top four teams, Atlant are on top of the log, 22 points, Pillars second with 22 points. The goal difference for Pillars is -1. That could be an issue. Gombe, 21, goal difference -2. And then Nembe, 20th, 4th place, goal difference -1. Our top teams have deficit, their goal difference, most of them. Bottom four, Akwa United in 17th position with 14, Sharks in 18 with 14, ABS with 13 in 19th position, Wiki bottom of the log with 11 points. That's what it looks like at the bottom of the log. Our teams of the week for week 13, Dolphins and Akwa United picking points on the road in Ilorin and Lafia. These are difficult, tricky places. So Dolphins and Aqua are the teams of the week. And the player of the week, Fred Okwara of Dolphins, he scored the all-important equalizer that helped Dolphins to a share of the spoils in Ilorin against Kwara United. All right, so congratulations, Fred Okwara. He's also among the top scorers this season. Yeah, the top scorers on 7 goals, Bishop Onyedo of Gombe, Isa Ako of Atlant, Ogene Karo Etebo of Warri Wolves. On 6 goals, Zilelan Ondari of Sunshine, Fred Okwara, we just mentioned him now, on 6. Of Dolphins. On 5 goals, Aruna Babalo of El Kanemi and Ali Adamu of Kaduna United. These are the top marksmen in the Nigerian Professional Football League after 13 weeks of football has been played. All right, so we'll quickly go to the papers. Moses Kalu Uche. Okay, Moses Kalu Uche blow for Eagles. We talked about this extensively, and it's a massive blow. It is a massive blow. But Nigerian spirit, when you think we're down, we're up. When we think we're up, we can be shocked and brought down to ground level. But let's hope that this is positive at the end of the day. Emenike on way out of Spartak Moscow is also there. Ejide, Uja, Storm Eagles, Novena Base in Germany. You can also read that up as well on the front page of Complete Sports this morning. And then you want a review of the 2012-2013 EPL season. Complete Sports provides you with a review on the front page. On your way, Jose. On your way, Jose, depending on which one you choose. Mourinho exits Real ahead of Chelsea return. Ahmed Musa prefers club to Nigeria, opts to play in the Russian Cup final, boycotts Mexico friendly. Mexico friendly is a friendly. Russia Cup final is a key game.
And the young man wants to win a double.
And he wants to win. So, I mean, the club will not even allow him miss a cup game for a friendly. So, what we should have done to Rangers, allow them to play a continental game instead of the friendly. All right. So that's Sporting Live. You can get a copy of the paper and read up the details. Soccer star Mexico names Chicharito dos Santos for Eagles is also on the front page. You can get details of that as well. And then you have Ejide Uja storm Eagles camp in Germany. You can get a copy of Soccer Star. Dynamo Kiev blast Ideye Aruna. Ambrose targets conferred cup glory. Amodu thumbs up Mikel and Moses. The final one, Uja Ejide hit camp. Injury scare for Moses Kalu Uche may miss June World Cup qualifiers and all of that. Emodi admits Rangers woes. You can get a copy of all of these papers this morning. Get updated with all that they've got to offer. President Jonathan hosts AYAC athletes joint reward ceremony with Eaglets and the Flying Eagles and a whole lot of other Nigerians who have done the country proud in sports. President Jonathan will be receiving them, and I think the president has had a very favorable policy for sports, of course, of late. So that's encouraging, of course, for sports. All right, that's the much we can take from the papers this morning. I'm told that that is how we have to wrap it up on sports this morning. But our closing shot on sports this morning has got to do with the Mimiko Under-18 Soccer Championship that will be taking place in Ondo State in a couple of weeks from now. We caught up with the Vice Chairman of the local organizing committee for the Mimiko Under-18 Championship, Honorable Akin Akinbobola, and he had a few things to say to us about Ondo State hosting the Mimiko Under-18 Championship and what it will achieve for Nigerian football. We'll close on that note and ask you to enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
There's going to be a day set out for tourism, when all the teams, the 16 teams and their officials and the invited guests and scouts will be taken to visit some sites in Ondo State, some tourist attractions in Ondo State, like Idori Hills, the golf course in Ilara, and the mega schools that is being constructed in Ondo State, and the Mother and Child Hospital will show the world what the new Ondo State is now. And I can tell you that the tournament, apart from the fact that it's going to generate the normal football activities and excitements, we believe that it will engender tourism and commerce too.